So I'm all done with the Institute day. On my way home. And just a few notes. One, it was actually pretty good. The two keynote speakers were not boring. That's for sure. They had a lot of good information to share, and it was relatable. I don't know how much of it I'm going to take back and use, but there were definitely some things that were said and some points that were made that made it very clear that change is okay and sometimes necessary. The main thing I did take away, and I've said this for a long time, is that teachers make the worst students. I cannot tell you how annoying it is to be sitting there trying to listen and hearing a bunch of teachers saying, we can't hear him. What the microphone audio quality, we were in a gymnasium, so it was very echoey. And people just repeatedly saying, I can't hear him. What is he saying? He's so muffled. I can't understand. Like, if your students were sitting there saying the same thing, talking so much, and constantly telling you they couldn't hear you, like, you would get on them. A lot. And then the second speaker, they audibly said, like, he started talking, and, like, 17 different people said, we can't hear you. Like, after the first few, everybody should realize that somebody said they can't hear him, and he knows, he's aware. Like, dude's doing his best. Chill. Look at his mouth, and maybe you can actually, like, get the idea of what he's saying. Also, just the general talking as a whole was annoying from the observer's end. But then he's asking questions, and he's, like, specifically asking certain people, and everybody is answering, or a group of people is answering. Again, blurting out one of the very things we tell our students not to do. You're all doing it. Just so many examples of teachers doing the exact things that they tell their students not to do. And it happens in our school building too. It's not just at these institute district-wide or county-wide things. Like, at school, we tell our students not to talk in the hallway, and not to lean against the wall, and not to, all these things, to walk in a straight line, to stay to one side. And we as adults don't do that. I will admit, I'm guilty of not always walking on the right side of the hallway. It's usually when the hallway's empty, but when I round a corner and I bump into somebody, or I'm about to bump into somebody, I'm in the wrong there, and I owe them an apology, and I always give one. But don't stop and have a conversation in the hallway, especially when your students are sitting there watching you. Like, you just told them to shut their mouths. Don't stand there and talk with them, or talk with somebody else. So that's just one of those things that was made very apparent to me, is that teachers do not do what they tell their students to do. We don't, as a group, we don't lead by example very well. And if you're going to make a change, that should be the biggest one. Like, lead by example. Do what you say you're going to do. Do what you're telling them to do. And they're more inclined to listen and follow you in what you're trying to accomplish. So those are just a few takeaways. Like I said, it wasn't a terrible day. There was some good discussion. There were some good speakers. Free snacks. So, all in all, the takeaway is positive. We start outdoor school next week, so I'm sure there'll be some fun stories from that. But for now, I'm enjoying a long weekend, and I'll see you all on Tuesday.